UAH Biology presents Ecological Interactions with Prokaryotes by Lauren Buswell. This is Betty Bacteria. Today she will help me explain some of the ways prokaryotes interact with other organisms. Betty can live with a number of different species. These include animals, fungi, and plants. Symbiosis is the technical word for two species living close together. Betty Bacteria would be a symbiont because she is the smallest, and the other would be called a host because they are bigger. There are three main types of relationships between prokaryotes and other organisms. These are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. When both species benefit in a relationship, it is known as mutualism. For example, there are some forms of bacteria that live in human intestines. The job of this bacteria is to break down food that the human host is unable to do on their own. This is a mutualistic relationship because the host benefits from the digestive properties of the bacteria, and the bacteria benefits by having a home and a food source. There are three main. Our next relationship is when one species benefits while the other is neither helped nor harmed. This is known as commensalism. This relationship can be seen in the bacteria that live on the surface of the human body. The human host does not benefit, nor is it harmed. The bacteria, on the other hand, feeds from the oils that are on the skin. The last relationship we will be discussing is when a parasite feeds off its host in a way that harms the host. A parasite that causes disease are called pathogens. Parasites are unlike predators because they do not kill their host immediately, but they can cause death if left untreated. Some bacterial diseases include cholera, flu, tetanus, diphtheria, and Lyme disease. As of now, bacteria are the only known pathogenic prokaryotes. These pathogens account for about half of all human disease. Some bacterial diseases can be transferred by other species such as fleas, cats, and ticks. One of the most common occurrences of this is Lyme disease that is transferred to humans by infected ticks that live on field mice or deer. Another example of this is referred to as cat scratch disease or cat scratch fever, which is an infection caused by bacteria, which is usually a result from being scratched by a cat. Betty needs to find a place to stay. She has three choices. She would prefer to live in a mutualistic relationship, but needs our help to pick which one that is. For Betty's first choice, she can stay with her friend Helio pylori, who lives in the stomach of a host. Helio tells Betty that he lives in the stomach lining of the host, and that the acidic conditions are great for him. When Betty asks how it is for the host, Helio tells her that they cause ulcers that hurt the host, but it's okay since it benefits him. Based on what Betty learned, she knows that this is a parasitic relationship and declines the invite. After rejecting Helio's invite, Betty's friend Staphylococcus invites her to stay at her place. Staphylococcus tells Betty that she lives on the skin of her host and that there is plenty of salty goodness to feed off of. After her experience with Helio, Betty asks how that affects the host. Staphy assures her that it does absolutely nothing for the host. Betty thinks about this and decides that a commensalistic relationship makes her feel like too much of a freeloader and declines Staphy's invite. After hearing that Betty still needed a place, her friend Ecological invites her to stay with her. Ecological tells her that she lives in the intestines of her host and that it is a very nice place to stay. Betty asks Ecological if they do anything to the host. Ecological tells Betty that in exchange for a place to stay, Ecological and her family give her host vitamins and nutrients. As long as there isn't too many of them, then everything is okay. Betty becomes overjoyed that she will be able to help out in this new mutualistic relationship and quickly packs her bags. The various interactions that prokaryotes can be in, whether good or bad, goes to show the diversity that they possess. Thank you.